we need to have a Marshall Plan. So the Marshall Plan actually is the roadmap now that is saying that the ministry is looking at all our mandates of coordinating the activities of other agencies at the state and local government, that all of us will be on board to achieve a common goal. They've started very well because they have the National Council on Lands, Housing and Urban Development.
The roadmap is seen as a new paradigm of action orientation to reposition the housing and urban development sector as key to advancing the agenda to sustainable national development and prosperity. Phoebe Kabruk, NTA News.
As part of efforts to contribute to the goals and aspirations of the present administration, the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Social Development Matters is collaborating with non-governmental organizations on job creation and women empowerment. Correspondent Obiageli Ugoke reports.
The Special Advisor to the President on Social Development Matters, Sarah Payne, said the collaboration is aimed at fostering social development in both rural and urban areas of Nigeria.
Going a very good force in development. So people living with disabilities, definitely we have to look at means to help them. And like I told you, with so many people out there being passionate about them, it is a matter of seeing how we can come together to get other Nigerians that are yearning to help such people.
The non-governmental organizations' representatives said they are willing to partner with the government in the areas of job creation and widows' empowerment through skills acquisition.
We have been galvanizing a lot of Nigerians and professionals all over the world to see the need that Nigeria is our country. It belongs to all of us. We must contribute. And so we have gone into the health sector where we're mobilizing the health professionals.
Apart from empowering youths and women, the group has also mobilized Nigerians in diaspora to participate and contribute their quota in nations building. In Abuja, Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
The Minister of Labour and Productivity, Emeka Wogu, is advocating the adoption of logical approach to issues bordering on union matters. The minister stated this in a paper titled "The Role of Government in Promoting Harmonious Industrial Relations for Productivity," delivered to participants of the Senior Executive Course of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU.
The goal of the National Policy on Productivity is to break the vicious cycle of underdevelopment by raising the national competitiveness, eradicating poverty, and accelerating improvement in the standard of living of the people of Nigeria.
In the related developments, the Minister of Labour and Productivity has reconstituted and inaugurated the ministry's Anti-Corruption and Transparency Monitoring Unit. Mr. Wogu said the decision became necessary towards combating corruption in the labour sector and the need to bring about a new socio-economic order. Now, what kind of societies does the world expect to build with an illiterate youth? This is a challenge posed by the Director General of UNESCO, Irina Bokovia, as Nigeria joins the world to mark International Literacy Day in Abuja. Franka Uzomolora brings us our report efforts to reduce the high illiteracy level in Nigeria.
Close your eyes and spell me the word ball.
Statistics have it that 781 million adults worldwide cannot read, write, or count. Two-thirds of them are women. Nigeria accounts for 8% of the world's illiterate, with 63 million adults who cannot read or write, in addition to the 10.5 million out-of-school children.
If the needed transformation is to be achieved in mass literacy sector, it may be necessary to declare a state of emergency in this sector.
This year's International Literacy Day is devoted to the connection between literacy and sustainable development.
We want a world where everyone can participate in the destiny of their societies, gain access to knowledge, and enrich it in turn.
It is an opportunity to remember the simple truth that literacy not only changes lives, but also saves lives.
We are talking about literacy that will be make learning functional and effective. Functional in the sense that not only being able to read and write, but function effectively in your day-to-day life.
In an effort to reduce the high level of illiteracy, Nigeria signed a memorandum of understanding with UNESCO in 2011 to revitalize adult and youth literacy.
They have trained not less than 4,000 facilitators who are supposed to train other people in the various states and local governments.
In the words of the UNESCO Director General, nations need to redouble efforts to ensure that literacy is fully recognized as one of the most powerful tools for development. After all, the future of the world starts with the alphabet. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. We earlier informed you that Nigeria's President Jonathan is in crucial talks with Chadian Idris Deby to forge a stronger alliance against terrorism. You also heard that Nigerian government is set to transform cities into functional and livable human settlements. Still to come in the news, National Bureau of Statistics places Nigeria's second quarter gross domestic product growth at 6.5%.
Nigeria, we the people decree that the power of evil secrecy shall fail.
All Nigerians should understand that a divided Nigeria can only mean catastrophic consequences for the entire black race.
We all African countries count on you, and you are our beacon of hope.
That when Nigeria sneezes, all of us will catch hold.
All of us who look to Nigeria for lessons and inspiration never cease to thank God for this wonderful gift to Africa.
Nigeria enjoys the respect, the admiration, the friendship, and the hope of an entire continent.
The powerhouse of Africa.
Nigeria.
Unite and build Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria.
A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Good to know you're still watching the news. And the role of religion in national growth. Nigerian faithful have been advised to strictly adhere to the teachings of their various religions in their daily affairs, as this will facilitate economic growth and development. The Special Assistant to the President, Goodluck Jonathan, on Islamic Affairs, Tahiru Omar Tahiru, stated this while hosting to Adena members of Egyptian Fatwa Council. Aliu Kabir reports.
Although the volume of trade between Nigeria and Egypt currently stands at $150, which the Egyptian ambassador to Nigeria, Ashraf Salama, described as unimpressive, taking into cognizance the potentials of the two countries. The two countries are employing necessary mechanisms to strengthen the relationship, especially in the field of economic prosperity, youth empowerment, viable education system, and better services. It is against this background that the members of the Egyptian Fatwa Council paid a visit to Nigeria.
His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has rolled out many programs to counter terrorism and insurgency in this country. So it is on the strength of this that our brothers from Egypt, Dar al-Iftar, felt it necessary to come into Nigeria and to consolidate, to facilitate, and to give their contribution towards the eradication of extremism and to strengthen the effort of Mr. President.
During their 4-day stay in the country, the group will engage in an interfaith workshop and seminars in Kaduna and Abuja.
So they came to share their experience of interfaith to help Nigeria at this hard time to solve many problems.
Want to achieve to make our relationship between Egypt and Nigeria more strength.
Stakeholders believed that the gesture will go a long way in educating religious faithful to have a better understanding of both Islam and Christianity. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
National Bureau of Statistics places Nigeria's second quarter GDP growth at 6.54%, plus expectations from Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenyan money markets. Details with Chazalam Ekie.
Report from the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that Africa's second largest economy, Nigeria, rose to 6.54% in the second quarter of 2014, compared with 6.21% in the first quarter and 5.40% in the same period of 2013. Africa's largest oil exporter pumped an average of 2.21 million barrels per day, up from 2.11 million barrels per day in 2013. The fastest growth was recorded in the manufacturing sector, such as chemicals and pharmaceuticals, while the services sector contributed 53.15% to GDP. Nigeria rebased its GDP in April, almost doubling its economy to $510 billion, making it the continent's biggest economy. And moving attention to the money markets, the country's currency is expected to see some gains, according to financial watchers, with support by dollar sales by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. The currency drifted between 161 naira to 162 naira band last week, while the Ghanaian government, in a bid to strengthen the cedi, is to begin talks with the International Monetary Fund in mid-September for an assistance program aimed at shoring up its economy. In Kenya, traders expect the shillings to lose ground as liquidity fuels demand for the dollars, while the central bank says it is likely to sell dollars to prop up the local currency. Chiazalam Ekie, NTA News.
As Ebola deaths hit 1,000 in Liberia, World Food Programme renders assistance. European Union poised to implement sanctions on Russia, and new United Nations chief calls for world to protect women and minorities from Islamic State militants in Iraq and Syria. Details are more with Uche Nwizu.
South Africa's Minister of Health says movements between South Africa and West African countries with an Ebola outbreak are strictly controlled, and that the tourist cancellation to the country on fears of the disease is unfair.
In South Africa, we don't have anybody yet, but because we are on the African continent, everybody suddenly believes there's a lot of Ebola there when there is none.
He said the nation is not relenting in efforts to contain the virus, following the World Health Organization's declaration that it might take another 9 months to get rid of the Ebola disease. Meanwhile, in Liberia, the World Food Programme is providing aid at holding centers for suspected Ebola virus disease victims as the number of confirmed cases continues to grow.
They are finding it difficult to get food because they are not allowed to get out.
And we don't know when they're going to lift the ban on us as we have been quarantined.
Moving on, the European Commission says it is poised to implement new sanctions on Russia despite a shaky ceasefire in Ukraine.
The stage where the package has been agreed at the level of the COREPER, the Committee of Permanent Representatives, and the package is due to be formally adopted by the member states.
And the new UN Human Rights Chief wants the world to protect women and the minorities targeted by Islamic State militants in Iraq and Syria amidst increasing conflicts. The Sunni fighters have overrun large parts of Syria and Iraq since June, declaring a cross-border caliphate.
Dedicated efforts are urgently needed to protect religious and ethnic groups, children who are at risk of forcible recruitment and sexual violence, and women.
Hussein urged Iraq's new government and Prime Minister to join the International Criminal Court to ensure accountability for crime committed there. Uche Nwizu, NTA News.
Now sports. House of Representatives Committee on Sports restates call on Chris Giwa-led NFF to vacate office as Super Eagles brace up to face Bafana Bafana in the must-win 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Kenema Bodike has more.
The House of Representatives Committee on Sports has restated 8 earlier resolutions that Chris Giwa and his faction vacate office and stop parading themselves as executive committee members of the Nigeria Football Federation. Chairman of the committee, Godfrey Geya, who addressed a press conference Monday in Abuja, pledged to continue fighting for the development of Nigerian football, promising that the NFF bill before the National Assembly, which is the root of the NFF crisis, will be passed before the termination of the 7th National Assembly.
Whoever is going to arbitration should do so on a good foundation. If you have a right to go to CAS, you go to CAS. If you don't have a right to go to CAS, there will be no need using CAS as some form of delay tactics to what is right.
Meanwhile, General Secretary of Nigeria Football Federation Musa Amadu has assured Nigerians that peace will soon return to the glass house for the game to move forward. Amadu, who addressed journalists in Abuja Monday, disclosed that machinery that will lead to an elective Congress by the 25th of September, as directed by FIFA, has been put in place.
I believe this is something that we can all do. We need to make sacrifices collectively and individually to move Nigerian football forward, and I believe we're on the right course.
Amadu also expressed optimism that the Super Eagles will bounce back to contention for the ticket to next year's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco after Saturday's 2-3 loss to Congo in Calabar. The Eagles have a date against Bafana Bafana of South Africa in Johannesburg on Wednesday. Super Eagles and Bafana Bafana last met in the Championship of African Nations CHAN in January, with Nigeria winning 3-1. With Sports Update, Kenei Maburike, NTA News.
Next is weather forecast for Tuesday. Thank you for watching NTA International News. Bye for now.
Welcome to Click Clap, a program designed for children and also presented by us. I mean, children.
Welcome to Click Clap News. My name is Ifeola Olaripo, and with me, Michael Chukuma.
Please take care of your pets. Shalom George, reporting for Click Clap.
Lami Salema reporting for Click Clap News.
Zamfara State was carved out of Sokoto State.
I promise to respect the office of the President and the occupier of the office of the President, whoever they may be. Over the years, we have seen our illustrious sons become presidents of this great nation. Today, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is our president. And because he encourages the freedom of speech, Nigerians can speak freely, no matter their opinion. But let us remember that respect for the office of the president is the civic responsibility of every Nigerian. So, respect our president today, and if tomorrow you become president, we promise to respect you.
This message is brought to you by Community Awareness and Development Network, Kawan. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community.
Ebola is something very special, that even if one case is recorded, it becomes an emergency situation.
The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it.
Achievers in life are not those who wait for others to take the lead, but rather men and women who take initiative and seize every opportunity around them. A successful woman is one who understands her purpose and lives out her dreams as the day unfolds. This is true of Dr. Augusta Ebiolim, who has made giant strides in the field of education in Rivers State, South region of Nigeria, the best school administrator in Nigeria in the category of senior secondary schools at the 2008 President's Teachers and School Excellence Award by late President Musa Yar'Adua in Abuja, Nigeria. River State Women of the Year 2012 in Education, Distinguished Educationist Award winner of the Institute of Corporate Administration of Nigeria 2003, President All Nigeria Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools ANCOPS, River State. First prize winner of Maggi National Cooking Competition, Eastern Zone. First prize winner, Creative Cooking at 9th River State Agricultural Show and Farmers Fishermen Festival held in Port Harcourt. Recipient, Outstanding Development in Africa Merit Award by